guys, it's PM Mathis, your global indie author distributor, and I hope that you had a great and glorious day today. I absolutely had a great day down here in the hot state of Alabama. It was beautiful on the water because I work close to the water. Not that I'm ever going to get in the water. I don't enjoy it like that, but it was very beautiful, looking over the lake today. But I'm going to continue on with my series, and it's called Mothering by Example, Single Mother Upgrade. And this one is called The Alpha Female, right? Faking it is the new authenticity. I know you like that, don't you? Okay, so I got 3 points I'm going to cover. Dulling down your fiery self, because being an alpha female is not always the go-to move, right? And it's also very intimidating to some. I'm not really sure why, but it actually is. You set your ambitions aside as an alpha female sometimes in relationships and how you deal with people. And then on top of that, when you have to dull down your fiery self, you lay those ambitions aside, then you still have to raise strong-willed kids. And not strong-willed to the point that you guys are always going, being combative, but strong-willed enough to live in a society, to be who they are, and you be that guiding light for them as that alpha female, showing them how to play life well, how to play well with others. I don't necessarily always play well with others, but I'm learning it's a skill, right? To be a part of a team. So that's very huge in what the world needs, and learning about people and building relationships. All of that is huge. And sometimes as an alpha female, because I claim to be one, it's not always easy to be tolerant, to be able to just be calm and not have things go your way. It's a little bit challenging for me, but I'm working on it. With God's grace, I'll get there. Okay, so I want to start out with a scripture, which is Isaiah 40:29. And let me get there. Just bear with me, okay? All right, here we go. He gives strength to the weary, and to him who lacks might he increase their power. Now, that is an awfully strong scripture, and very powerful in the fact that we know that God gives us power. But then, as an alpha female, you have to be careful with what you do with that power, right? You have to be very diplomatic. You have to be very caring. And it's like you have to do it more so than, say, the average person. You have to be over the top in how you listen, how you relate to other people, never putting yourself in a position to make anybody feel less than you. Because it's very easy to not be uneasy, but just be intolerant to people's inability to not be intimidated by you, I guess, as far as, I can't think of another better word, but just so they won't feel like, hey, you think you know everything, you think that you're better than somebody else, because it's really not about that. It is just about knowing who you are, where you see your life going, and finding a way to get there. It's not about trying to make anybody else feel bad. It's not about trying to get over or manipulate people, although I've been told I'm very manipulative. I don't really understand that, but it's been told to me. So those things that people bring to my attention, I try to adjust those kinds of things as much as I can. Now, when I say that, please don't ever dim your light in order to make somebody else shine, because it's that person's responsibility to put themselves in the position to cause themselves to be seen, however that plays out for them. Because this is really not for me about being seen. It is in the fact of wanting people to be encouraged and be motivated, because that is my main objective. And that you have a voice, that you use that voice, that the world hears your voice, but in a positive way that will influence the next person. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things. You can't be emotionally unavailable. That's just doesn't play out well when you're trying to build relationships, right? So I always think it's like the other person. That's the emotionally unavailable person. But generally, I have to look at my own self because sometimes it's just me because I really don't want to dive in. I don't really want to be engaging because there are a lot of times when I just feel like, conversations and situations are just a waste of my time. But in order to be a better version, in order for me to help you be a better version, I have to help you understand that we cannot be emotionally unavailable. It's just not cute. It's just not attractive, okay? Apologize when necessary, not making excuses for the actions of the words. Now, see, this is a lesson for me too, because I really can be in a position to make and maybe this is where they talk about being manipulative. Excuse me, that word just doesn't roll off the tongue real well. Maybe that in this instance, because I can listen to you for a minute or two, and you can probably even say some things that you feel like I've done wrong to you. And I'll listen and I'll be attentive and I'll, agree if I think that that's the case. Now, I have to think that it's the case that I've done you wrong. You can't just be telling me that I've done you wrong. You got to give me some examples. And if those examples ring true to me, I will definitely apologize. I'm just not one to just sit around and just, waste my time just because you feel like you're in your feelings today or you're emotionally unstable. I'm not going to just downgrade who I am and what I'm trying to do in order to bring you up because, like I said, we all have personal journeys, right? And so your ability to be okay shouldn't rest in my lap. I think everybody has the responsibility to be okay within themselves because I can't encourage you enough. I can't motivate you enough unless you decide that that's where you want to be. Okay? But I just want to encourage you, just really try to be open, try to listen, try to not make excuses, and really try to understand where that person is coming from. Like I said, this is a lesson for me too, so I'm not just trying to throw anybody else up under the bus, okay? All right, so the next point, does not matter what you are not getting from others, they still expect you to be givers, right? Sometimes you just got to give and you got to give and you got to give and get nothing. But you know what? It's helpful to be an alpha female in this instance. Why? Because you know what? If I don't get from you today what I think I need to get, it ain't going to stop me. It ain't going to floor me. It ain't going to, keep me from getting my hustle on. It's not going to stop me, at the end of this life, patting myself on the back and saying, well done. So being an alpha female is not a bad thing. You just got to learn how to adjust to the world around you. Okay? Because I know there have been several instances where I had to just, take the lesser road in order for somebody else to be okay. And in that instance, it's okay for me because it's not gonna tear me down. It's not gonna keep me from, helping out the next person, because ultimately the end goal is to help as many people, influence as many people as possible. Like I said, my ministry and my mission and who I'm speaking to is females. Why? Because I am a female. And why? Because I've raised a daughter. So I can try to encourage a male. Generally though, I think a male, if you don't already have what you need when you kind of approach me or need whatever that encouragement is. Now, I can pray for you all day long, but there are just certain things that I can't instruct a man on. So, but as a female, now I can't, touch base with every female because everybody's not going to receive my message and everybody is not maybe even like the sound of my voice. I don't know. But that's not going to keep me from doing what God has required of me. And I want to encourage you to always remember that. You're always going to generally have to give more than you receive, but be okay. It's really going to be all right. And you're not going to die. We really don't die. Okay? All right. Now, this is another huge one, right? So you have to ask for what is important. In that side stuff, you need to leave it alone, or else you're going to find yourself upset 24/7, because there are just certain things that you demand in life, and make those your key priorities. Because like I said previously, remember, you're going to have to always give more than you get. So those things that are non-negotiables for you, you better get those first, right? Don't compromise on those, because if you do, you're going to be pissed at all points. So just get what you need, that important stuff, leave the side stuff alone. It's almost like, being in a relationship and requiring your man not to have a side chick. I'm just saying, okay? All right, be an active listener. Forget about your needs being met in that moment. That just kind of goes back to my other point. But really, it is ultimately in your best interest to be able to be an awesome listener. If you generally want to help other people, and generally if you know that you helping them is not going to diminish you in any way, hey, I can be a good listener all day long, and I can encourage you and motivate you, because that's generally what I can do. I don't have to have somebody patting me on the back and just telling me, well done. Why? Because, I'm pretty secure enough to know that I'm doing a good job. There are things that I excel in, things that I don't. Those things that I don't let it bog me down mentally. I just keep it moving. And moving on to the next point, the past cannot come up when you're trying to make decisions about your future. Remember, like I've said previously, the only time you use your past is to pat yourself on the back to tell yourself, well done. Hey, listen, you're doing a good job. It might not be how you want to see it right now, but you are making progress. And you have to remind yourself that what happened to me in the past back here, that bad decision I made, that relationship that I never should have had, yes, there's some scars from that. But you can keep it moving. You didn't die, right? Because you're listening to me, so you didn't pass on. So don't let your past ruin your future. It's just not necessary, because you can't change nothing in it. All you can do is let it show you how well you've done. Now that takes me to Galatians 5:1, which reads, "It was for freedom that Christ set us free. Therefore, keep standing firm and do not be subject again to the yoke of slavery." Now, slavery, in this instance for me, I'm just going to use these points, it's just like a mental slavery. Because like I'm telling you, don't let your past defeat you in your future. That's mental slavery. And I'm not telling you something I don't already know, because I live this stuff out. If I'm not careful, I just don't have the luxury of living in the past. It is just not good for me. Why? Because then I'm mad in my future. I'm not going to be a good listener. My heart's not going to be open. Why? Because I'm thinking about how I got screwed, excuse my language, how I got screwed back in the day. But as long as I can tell myself, you know what, Pam, though, but in every one of those situations, you came out on top. Why? Because you learned something from it. And you know not to walk down that same road. Now, it's probably going to put somebody out, as you go along in your future, because there's no way I'm going to tolerate that. I did that in my past, and I'm way beyond that. So, just remember to keep it moving. Use that past to pat yourself on the back to tell yourself, well done, I'm moving. I'm shaking, I'm grooving, and ain't nobody gonna stop me, right? Okay. Free yourself from the need of acknowledgement. Here's the way I look at this, right? I call it no case, which just really means nobody cares about your stuff. I have lived my past needing people to validate me, right? People don't validate you like you need them to. They don't ever say the right things at the right time, and they are never available to tell you, hey, you're doing a good job. So what do you have to do? You have to be able to live in your truth, knowing ain't nobody gonna pat you on the back, ain't nobody gonna tell you well done but you. So you gotta stay self-motivated, self-encouraged, and that's what I'm trying to help you do. So you're welcome. Okay, so moving forward, say to yourself what you would say to somebody else about their presence and their performance. Tell them, because you would tell somebody that they're worth it and they can get it done. So you know what? Use that same, those same words of affirmation and encouragement for yourself. Look in the mirror, listen to your voice. You know, it's taking me a long time to like the sound of my voice, right? And definitely recorded. But what I'm learning is that I have the ability to speak power into somebody else's life. I have the ability to walk beside somebody and say, hey, you know what? Good job. It don't matter what somebody else is doing or saying to you. Just know that you are doing the very best that you can. And you have the ability every single day to get up, to motivate yourself, to say, you know, this is what it is right now. It's not always going to be this way, but I'm moving, I'm shaking, and I'm grooving. You know, for me right now, I have this little playlist that I put together, and I call it my hustle inspiration. So one of the songs is Every Day I'm Hustling. I can't remember who actually wrote the song, but I don't listen to all of the lyrics, but it's just that that line that keeps me motivated. It just really, because every day I'm hustling. So you have to remind yourself, every day I'm hustling. It don't matter where you're trying to go, every day you get up, you be consistent, you be a person that allows not allow the setbacks of life and the obstacles of what you hear somebody say or somebody telling you, I don't think you can do that. You know what I'm saying? And why would you want to? Don't let that stop you. Just take it in one ear, push it out the other one, and keep it moving. Okay, and last point, engage your star player. That inner belief in yourself. You know what? If I looked at my past, or if I even look at the future, or if I say to myself, oh my God, I don't even know how this is going to happen, because your girl got big dreams, right? It would floor me. I would shut down, because in my little bitty mind, I'm like, I don't know. But that star player tells me, oh man, this is only the beginning, you know? And so I would encourage you to always keep that star player alive and popping, because that is the only way that you're going to get this thing happening in life. And this is the only way that you're going to serve somebody else how to do it. Because people don't want to hear your words. They want to see your actions. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so the last scripture is going to be Job 22:21, which reads, yield now and be at peace with him. Thereby good will come to you. That's what I'm saying. Be at peace. Knowing that God has your back, you have the victory. Why? Because he said so. And if you honor yourself, and I just simply mean not trying to rise above nobody else, stay in your lane. I ain't trying to do what everybody else is trying to do. Like I was telling the young ladies last night at the young ladies I mentor, I ain't no math and science person, but you know what? Reading is my jam. I love a book. So I encourage them to read. Now, I definitely encourage them to do the math and science thing. It's just not my thing, right? But there is power in words. As a writer, I know that there's power in words, and I try to speak those things that are positive, that motivate, and that encourage. And that brings me to my personal story alert, right? So, like I told you in the last video, God has opened the door for me to learn about essential oils. And this one I'm going to tell you about is called Highest Potential, right? Because I need to stay encouraged and I need to stay motivated. And you know what this one oil does for me? It elevates my mind so that my thoughts have a chance to be grounded. They have a chance to be calm, inspired, empowering, which enables me to live at my highest potential. So I hope that you're encouraged today. Remember, this is PM Mathis, your global indie author distributor. And as always, 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 I want you to what? Be blessed. Okay, guys, have a great rest of your evening.